Today I'm talking about 30 to 40 minutes away from the city center, which is the government hub, all the government offices. This place is home to more than 800 tech companies. MDEC office is right here, so you guys can reach out to them if you want. The average prices here is about... What if I told you there is a neighborhood in Malaysia or in KL that you can rent a 3-bedroom condo for less than $500 per month? And this is not in the jungle. This is a livable city. It has everything you would need. It has all the amenities. It has all the nice shops, beautiful condos. Healthcare is amazing. Private schools are amazing. And you're only about 30 minutes away from Kuala Lumpur city center. Today, I am in Cyberjaya, and this has been a very highly requested video for me to show you guys what Cyberjaya is all about, what you can do here, why is Cyberjaya so special, and why do I keep talking about it in all my ranking videos. Before we get into that, I want to show you guys how big Cyberjaya actually is. You can fit TTDI, Mount Kiara, Desa Park City, and even Bangsa in Cyberjaya itself. That's how big it is. And just to give you an idea, right next to it is Putrajaya. And Putrajaya is about 3 times the size of Cyberjaya, just to give you guys some scale. Now, Cyberjaya is Malaysia's first and only tech city. So it was meant to be the tech hub of Malaysia, and it is. There's a lot of big companies here. You have IBM, Dell, HP, and other big major tech companies that's here as well. And they have made this their base for a very long time, for almost 10-20 years. So, is the KL postcode worth the price that you are paying for? Or is Cyberjaya the smarter choice for you? That's what we are going to answer in this video, and I am going to show you guys everything there is to know about Cyberjaya. So let's get into it. Alright, before we move forward, the NAS Malaysia 2026 starter kit is ready. It's on nasmalaysia.com, or scan this QR code to go and download it. It has everything you need, from where to live, digital nomad, MM2H visa, all of those stuff. I have already arranged each and every single one of this information in a way you guys can easily understand. So it's completely free. Go to nasmalaysia.com and download it. Back to the video. Now, in terms of location, let's talk about where Cyberjaya is. So Cyberjaya is located on the south side of KL. I'm talking about 30 to 40 minutes away from the city center. Now, if you don't have any work or anything to do in the city center, this place is good enough for you, because Cyberjaya can survive on its own. You have everything you need here. You're right next to Putrajaya, which is the government hub. All the government offices, everything you want to do, immigration, passport office, all of that, it's right next door. And you're only 20 minutes away from Kuala Lumpur International Airport, which is super useful if you guys travel a lot. Cyberjaya is very different compared to KL. It is planned, it is green, it is very spacious. You have very wide roads, 3-lane roads everywhere. So traffic congestion is almost non-existent. And that is why I personally love Cyberjaya. I keep talking about it, and you guys should actually come and visit when you are in Malaysia, right? This place is home to more than 800 tech companies, including, like I mentioned before, IBM, Dell, HP, all those companies. They're all based here. So that's why there's a huge expat community here, and a huge Middle Eastern and Korean community here because of the Korean school. There's the Korean School of Malaysia right here in Cyberjaya. It feels quieter and more suburban compared to KL. Some people love it, some people find it boring. This place is good for families who want space, greenery, and affordability. Now, this is not a party or nightlife area. This is a settled residential neighborhood. A lot of expats and a lot of YouTubers I know who relocated to Malaysia, they live here in Cyberjaya. The rentals here are super cheap. We'll get to the rentals shortly and how you can buy a property here, because there's a few things you guys need to know about buying property in Cyberjaya. Okay, getting around. Now, Cyberjaya is a car-centric city. You will need a car to travel around, but it's not that difficult because cars here are super cheap and it's super easy to drive in Cyberjaya because there's no traffic, wide roads, super easy to just travel around, and it takes you probably like 10 minutes to get you from one end of Cyberjaya to the other end, despite Cyberjaya being so big. There's one MRT station, then there's also one more station. It's called the Putrajaya Central. That train can bring you either to the KLIA International Airport or can bring you to KL Central, which is located in the heart of KL. So in terms of driving, there are so many highways connected to Cyberjaya. So you can easily go into KL city center, you can easily travel to Subang, you can easily travel to Gamuda Cove. Gamuda Cove is one of the newer townships in Cyberjaya area. If you have a car, it'll be super easy for you to just travel and move around Cyberjaya. In terms of amenities, so what is there to do in Cyberjaya? Or basically, let's start with schools first. There's a list of schools. I'm just going to put it on screen. We have the ELC International School, you have Brainy Bunch International Islamic School, you have the King Henry VIII College. Cyberjaya has about 6 registered private and international schools. 5 of them offer Cambridge, IGCSE and stuff. This is the perfect time for me to talk about my schools guide. So if you guys are interested in coming to Malaysia and you want to know where are the schools, where is it located, what does it cost, you want it all in one place, I have created an interactive map where you can just go and check it out and just click the filters which one is right for you, whether in terms of Islamic schools, in terms of the pricing, in terms of location, KL, JB and Penang. So far there's about 40 schools, but I will be adding more as we go, and this is only for my strategy call clients or the scouting tour clients. Only you guys will get it. I'm also going to be making a D-Rantau guide as well, how you can apply for it. I'm also in the works with few of my property agents, the specialists, to come up with a property outlook report with all the numbers and data to show you guys which properties are worth buying and in which exact location. Sometimes it's not even in KL city center. Sometimes it's on the outskirts of KL that will give you the highest capital appreciation. If you want that, it's only available with the strategy call. So link in the description or scan this QR code to book a call with us. Back to the video. Schools. You also have universities here, Multimedia University, Lim Kok Ring University of Creative and Arts, so many things. I'm just going to list it down here. Healthcare in Malaysia is super easy and convenient. So you have the DePulse Medical Center, you have Columbia Asia Hospital in Puchong, you also have the Putrajaya Hospital, Serdang Hospital. These are public hospitals as well. The options for hospitals are not as good as KL, but you still have a good choice. I got treated at Hospital Putrajaya and Hospital Serdang. It's super convenient, super nice. Let's talk about daily life in Cyberjaya. Now, I know a lot of you are thinking because it's so far away from KL, it's gonna be boring. Okay, let me explain. Cyberjaya is huge. It's not possible for you to walk from one area to another. So what's going on is there are multiple small pockets in Cyberjaya that are walkable. For example, right now we are at Tamarin Square. You have so many different type of food. You have Thai food, you have VR games, you have Arab food, Middle Eastern food, you have Korean food, you have a clinic here, you have preschool, so many different things to do just at Tamarin Square. And the architecture is really nice. It's also connected to a condo. And you also have multiple condos connected to it on the side of the road. So basically you cross the street and you get back to your condo. So it's all very walkable. This is just one area, Tamarin Square. Then you have DePulse Shopping Center. And then you have Shaftesbury Square. Then you have IOI Mall Putrajaya. And just to give you guys some context, IOI Mall Putrajaya is the biggest mall in Malaysia. And if I'm not mistaken, it is the top 5 biggest mall in the world. There's also a good cafe culture. I'm going to show you guys, we're going to have some coffee there. Let me show you guys some prices as well. There's also the Cyberjaya Community Club where you can play tennis, badminton, all sorts of sports. There's a few pickleball courts here. I think there's 1 or 2 paddle courts as well in Cyberjaya. Okay, so this Cyberjaya neighborhood tour is going to be slightly different because a lot of you don't know about Cyberjaya, so I'm going to bring you guys around and show you guys what daily life is actually like. We're going to check out Tamarin Square, Shaftesbury Square, DePulse Mall as well, just to show you guys what you have here, because most of you guys just think Cyberjaya is a dead town. Let's go for the tour. So this is Tamarin Square. There's a lot of things going on here. As you can see, behind me, you have like the drop-off lobby, you have Village Grocer, Larkin Coffee, Eco Shop. We've got like so many other things going on. Let me show you guys. There's even like a whole green area inside this mall. Seriously guys, you have a park in the mall, and the best part, it's not crowded. It's Sunday at about 6 p.m. right now, and it's super chill. This is what you get in Cyberjaya. So Tamarind Square has this very rustic feeling to it. A lot of bare concrete and very raw piping all exposed everywhere. I think that's what makes it very niche in a way. Now I have a way to kind of distinguish whether that mall or that particular place is high-end or in demand. We look at the valet prices. Now if you're looking at 10 ringgit, then it's an okay place. If you're looking at 15 ringgit, then that is like medium density, there's a lot of demand. But if you're looking at 20 ringgit to 30 ringgit, that's like KLCC prices. And Tamarind Square is 20 ringgit or 25 ringgit on certain days. That means this is a high demand area. That's why the valet parking is also quite expensive. See how nice it is to just walk at the side of the road. Super nice. You have clinics on that side. Huge 24-hour clinic. You have 7-Eleven. You have a mama shop where if you want to watch football late at night or early in the morning, they'll be open. There'll be a projector screen up, and this is all over Malaysia. You see a mama shop, it's super fun to go there at 2 a.m. and watch the World Cup or watch EPL football or whatever it is, rugby, and everyone's there eating and cheering your team at the same time. You also have like an X-ray specialist clinic on that side. For those of you who have applied for the D-Rantau Digital Nomad visa from Malaysia, MDEC office is right here, so you guys can reach out to them if you want. Behind me is Deepal's shopping center, or basically another place that's a walkable pocket in Cyberjaya. You have a few condos behind. It's all walkable just across the street. There's also a nice park at the end, and there's a few construction going on, a few condos coming up, and this is what you have behind us. Let's go and see what Deepal's has to offer. Now, one of Malaysia's favorite snack is roti boy. If you guys are around in any malls, you guys should definitely check this place out. The smell is amazing, and the taste as well. 2 roti boy. Now we are at Shaftesbury Square. Shaftesbury, I think that's how you pronounce it. Went around, a lot of things to do here as well. It's quite big. We've got banks, we've got 99 Speed Mart, we've got restaurants, we've got so many different things going on here. We've got local food, Middle Eastern food, we've got Expats family, we've got clinics. We also got residential and commercial right above. And this is a famous spot because even parking is an issue. Everyone's parking at the side of the road. And that is Shaftesbury Square. Now, let's talk property. I know you guys are very interested in the pricing, whether you can buy or how much is it to rent. So, let's get into it. So here are some estimates for condo rentals. Now for studio or 1 bedroom, you're looking at about 250 to 450 USD. And for a 2 bedroom, it's about 350 to up to 700 USD, depending. There's a lot of new and old condos. So it depends on how close you are to the walkable pocket neighborhood. Now for a 3 bedroom, it can go anywhere from 450 USD all the way up to 800 USD. Now this is typically in the 1000 to 1500 square feet size. Now for a 2-story terrace house, you can get it for about 1000 USD per month estimated. For a bungalow, a landed 4-5 bedroom bungalow, you can get it for about $1,500, $1,500 all the way up to like about $3,000. And all of these bungalows and landed properties, they are all gated and guarded. Most of them are gated and guarded because it's considered a township. Now, if you are thinking of buying, the average prices here is about 100 to 150 USD per square feet. That's the estimated prices for condos. The minimum price for foreigners in Cyberjaya is 2 million ringgit, which is about 500,000 USD. And it has to be a strata title property, which means it has to be part of a gated and guarded community, or it should be a condo. So most of the landed properties here are gated and guarded, and they are strata. The only difference here is you are not allowed to renovate the exterior of the building. That's it. Interior, you can do it. Now, some notable premium developments include Sejati Residence, Isle of Kamares at Setia Eco Glades. Now, Setia Eco Glades is by SP Setia. It's its own township by itself. It's about a 10-minute drive from Shaftesbury Square, Tamarin Square. It's on the other side. It's secluded by itself. There's not many shops around that area, but if you want a nice gated and guarded living, beautiful lakes, rivers all around, very nice place is Setia Eco Glades. What do I think about Cyberjaya? Well, for those of you who do or have watched my ranking neighborhood videos, you would know where I stand with Cyberjaya. I think it's a very underrated neighborhood. I think it deserves a bit more credit for what it offers, but maybe some people, they just want to gatekeep this place. Everywhere you look, you get greeneries, you get big highways, like big roads, you get nice quiet neighborhoods, most of it walkable. Like Shaftesbury Square, there's a few condos connected to this mall, so you don't even have to go outside. You live here, everything is downstairs. Pulse is just 5 minutes away. Tamarin Square is another 5 minutes away. You have MDEC that's right here. For all you digital nomads looking for a nice quiet place to relocate, to relax, this is the place for you. Families who want peace and quiet, retirees who want peace and quiet, this is the place for you. Forget about KL and Bukit Bintang and Mont Kiara and all these overpriced neighborhoods. This is super underrated, in my opinion. There's zero traffic. As we were driving around, you guys saw that there was barely any traffic. Only at hotspots like Shaftesbury Square, Tamarin Square, Pulse, you'll see a lot of cars there, because yes, that is the hotspot. Everybody goes to malls. There's a lot of parks as well that I didn't get on film. You have a few parks, there's lakes, and you're right next to Putrajaya, another nice place as well that you guys can go and hang out. There is one MRT station. For those of you who need to travel to KL on a weekly basis or so, you do have the MRT station, just one, located at the edge of Cyberjaya. You can go there, take the train and join into the entire KL train network, probably about 10-15 minutes away. You can use that if you don't want to drive. But if you want to drive, it's going to take you probably about 30 minutes to get into town. There are multiple highways, so it's super convenient. Who Cyberjaya is not suitable for? It's not suitable for people who need to be in KL city centre most of the time, because it's quite far. To travel may be a bit difficult. And if you need the nightlife, if you want bars and clubs, nightlife in general, you like the city skyline, you want to live in tall condos, you want to see Kuala Lumpur, you want to have the backdrop of the city centre at your balcony, then yes, this is not the place for you. Because I've dealt with a lot of clients who I know they want that city nightlife. So if that's what you want, I'll be going to KLCC and Bukit Bintang and doing another vlog there, so stay tuned for that. If you guys are planning to purchase a property or get your MM2H visa, scan the QR code and our team will get back to you. If you want to come down to KL and scout properties with us, look at neighborhoods, look at a few property options, then you can go for the KL property tour. We will go and visit a few neighborhoods. We'll go and go through the numbers and see which property is best for you. Also, don't forget to download the NAS Malaysia Starter Kit, the 2026 guide. If you guys are interested in moving, this is the best place to start. I've spent like at least 3 months trying to cater or trying to adjust all information and put as much information as I can into this one PDF. So yeah, go download it. It is free. And that's about it for the Cyberjaya neighborhood tour. Where else would you guys want to visit? Let me know down in the comments which area I should tour next. And also, is Cyberjaya a place you would consider compared to KL? Let me know down in the comments below. I'm curious to know your thoughts. Alright guys, I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace out.